Maybe when the prince meets the bride. This is actually the moment when a conscious mind meets the soul. And this is a moment of knowing, when we become conscious of the needs of our soul. So if this doesn't happen in somebody's life, then this life doesn't have a meaning. It's meaningless life. Usually men reach the wisdom in an older age. Not all the time, but usually. So, but we people, we're supposed to live much longer than we usually live today. Why we live shorter lives? Because of unnatural food we eat and an unnatural way of living we live. So this is why we live shorter lives, and many people never reach actually this total wisdom. So many people ask me, what is the purpose of our life? Actually the purpose of our life is this, what we actually do in this moment. It's always this what we do in this moment. But I divide purpose of our life on primary and secondary purpose. Primary purpose of all living beings is to be in a present moment. For example, but we are not usually in these present moments. Why? Because we are always in the future. For example, somebody would listen to these words and will think about some comments, which comments he would have on this, or he would think about he would have some questions. So he's not in this present moment and he's not absorbing these words I'm saying. So also we are not when we eat, and if we don't feel the taste and the smell in the mouth, if we are not completely aware of the food in our mouth, then we are not in the present moment. We are already in our stomach. We are always in the future with our thoughts, which actually does not exist. The thoughts are only in our minds. They don't exist. So that is the moment when we actually see the future, when we are actually in the future, not in the present moment. That's the moment the suffering starts, because that's the moment duality is born, separateness. So, and suffering is actually this separateness. What is the reason we behave like this? What is the reason we are not in the present moment? The reason of this is that we name things. We always give names to beings and to happenings and everything. So we never contemplate on something what is happening, or so when we see a dove, for example, dove, the bird, we just pass. We never stop to see this dove. We are already away. Why? Because we know that this is a dove, and we don't need to think about this. We don't need to see what is this being. And so, and then this moment, the fear and the stress is born because we don't fulfill our primary purpose. We don't fulfill our primary purpose in this moment because we are not in a present moment. So the fear and stress and suffering comes out. And what we need to do? We need to stop naming things, and we need to really contemplate on every being, everything what is happening around us, to stop and to enjoy everything, to enjoy these beautiful beings, these beautiful meetings with the trees, with birds, with people, and become one with all of them. So what is happening when we are in a present moment? When we are in a present moment, we are connected to source. So that moment when we are connected to source, right thoughts are coming out. Our words become powerful, and also this noise in our head stops because then source is talking through us that moment. So how to be in a present moment? So sometimes happen something shocking, so we become immediately in a present moment, but this is very rare. And so how to become consciously in the present moment? What we need to do? We need to... Are you aware of your breathing? You know, the easiest way to become, to stop thinking noise in our head is to be aware of our breathing. So let's try. So, did you notice peace? Did you notice that you become relaxed and present, you know? Because we are attached to this breath which keep us in the body, which keep us present here and now. So in this moment of present moment, spontaneous reactions are born. So we don't need to prepare what we are going to talk. We don't need to, we are actually going to react spontaneously. And in this moment, secondary purpose come out. So we have primary purpose of all living beings, which is to be in a present moment. And the secondary purpose is unique for every being. And what is this? So our duty, the duty of all living beings on this planet is to bring value to other people's lives. And our duty is not to make money. This has to be clear in the beginning. So if we calm ourselves and imagine that we have all money in the world we want, and what would we do in this moment if we have all money in the world? What is the thing we would like to have? What is the thing we would like to do? So this is our purpose. This is our purpose. And if this purpose is this what we want to do, if we have all money in the world, is also contributing to other people, this is actually our purpose, our secondary purpose. So if we want love, we have to give love. If we want respect, we have to give respect. If we want whatever we want, we have to first give this, and then we will receive. But always we have to be in a service of others. Always. This is how universe is re-giving actually. So if we give something, the universe will re-give. Talking about re-giving, we have to be aware of this, that we are not physical beings. This is very important. People always mix up this, that I'm Sladjana. So no, it's this is personality. We are not physical beings, we are spiritual beings in the physical body. So this what we call that does not exist. This what we call that is actually it's actually only living of this physical form. We all have some duty in this 3D form, some special duty in this 3D form, but we have to find this duty and live it. So my opinion is actually that the living of this purpose in life is giving for everybody, because basic natural law, basic universal law is giving. So there is no receiving. This what we receive is actually what we already gave. There is nothing else what we can get. So if we plant a seed, the nature will give us fruit. So our giving is planting the seed. Actually, this is a free will. So by free will we are giving, and the universe is responding by re-giving. And this is how we actually create this reality around us, by free will giving, and then universe will respond immediately by the same things. So the richest thing in the world, in the universe, is actually to give and to become immortal in other people, in other beings. Giving is actually love. This is love. And when we dedicate our life to service of other people, then in some mysterious ways our all needs become satisfied. We don't need to be afraid of anything. This life is actually a game about which rules we already agree. How we can become aware of secondary purpose? You see, if you feel that something is unfair, if you feel that something is counterproductive, is not good, and you feel angry about this, just turn around, see what is the opposite of this. If you are angry about wars, and if you are angry about bad food, so the opposite of this is peace and good food. This is your purpose. Good food and peace are your purpose. So also look at which people you are attracted at. If this what is attracting you to these people is actually something what you already have in you. So also you can recognize your secondary purpose if you don't put an effort in something what you do. If you do spontaneously, with full of life, with energy. Are you okay with the...
Yes, please continue.
Okay. So also talents are your purpose. So, but we have to also ask other people about our talents, because sometimes other people see sometimes better than we see. So start doing things about you're fascinated, the things also the things which people will benefit from. And when you start to do these things, mechanical part of the brain will switch off, and then your intuition will come out, and then you will actually your intuition will take leadership, and then your life change. Even though the day is tough sometimes, if you do your purpose, you feel really satisfied. You see, now it's raining and we are wet, but because we are doing our purpose, you know, we are happy, and I don't mind about rain, about cold or anything. So every act at that moment, when we fulfill our purpose, become fearless and become unselfish. So if you feel excited and full of life when you do something, then you're on a good path. Often people cry when they're on a good path. They feel so emotional about this. But if you feel simple, ordinary, then ask yourself if you're doing right thing. Often we feel terrible when we are on a right, when we do our purpose. We feel terrible, but this is an ego. This is an ego which wants to keep status quo, because he knows that the moment when the moment when we start to do our purpose, the ego will disappear. So this is why he fights. So ego is personality which we receive constantly from other people all the time, and also accepting the norms from society, which society put on us. Ego is a story which we live with such and such personality, which we live with such a profession, character, and so on. Ego will always look on others, how they are going to fit into my story. So ego is the thing which separate us. So ego lives in our mind and constantly talks, and in the moment when we breathe in and we become aware of our breath, the ego disappears. And breath, so let's breathe in and let's start our journey. When we silence our ego, we become one with the dog, with the tree, with the people around us, and in all we see and ourselves, we see one. We become one, because we and them are all part of stardust, the same stardust, which is constantly in movement and is always the same. So the only thing which changes is the form.